Hello everybody, welcome back to Stan's Garage, bringing you everything you need to know for effective business IT management. This time, we are here with a new installment of Another Week, Another Hack.
This job has a deadline and it's in 4 fucking hours, all right? And if you think I'm gonna lose a $500,000 payday because of one of Kenny's boo-boos, then you're out of your goddamn mind.
Whoa, wait a second. You're making $500,000 on this deal?
Roughly.
I cannot believe you.
Rose, listen to me. I can explain.
You are making $500,000 and you were only gonna pay me 30?
You're getting 30 grand? I'm getting 1,000!
You guys are getting paid?
We all know the story. Go to work, clock in, do our jobs, go home to our families. We expect to get paid for the hours we worked, right? So what happens if the company's payroll system is down? Gets hacked, your employer becomes far too reliant on it to come up with some quick solution from the provider so they can pay the employees. On this week's video, we're going to discuss a recent ransomware attack that left employees facing the consequences of their time tracking system being down due to ransomware, and ways that you can prevent this from happening in your organization. So just this past December, thousands of employers were faced with the harsh reality of being underprepared when its human resource and payroll system provided by the ultimate KRONOS group was hit with a ransomware attack which crippled the application. Now, if you're not familiar with ransomware, in short, it's when a group of hackers break into a system and hold it for ransom. Really. It's some kind of malicious software hack that infects a computer or network and prevents users from getting in there until the ransom is paid. Ransomware accomplishes this by encrypting the files on those systems and threatening to destroy them if that ransom doesn't get paid. So normally you see this happening to hospitals, call centers, and other points of infrastructure. Now, it may seem like something out of a sci-fi thriller, far more common than you might expect. Attackers target these large corporations in the hopes of making a substantial profit. They primarily harm the employees and staff and everyone else who depends on these applications to work. KRONOS payroll software was used by Ohio Health, for example, one of their 27,000 clients, to distribute their payroll. So when it was hit with ransomware, Ohio Health had to come up with all kinds of solutions just to make sure that employees didn't miss paychecks. However, there were flaws, right? Many of the employees claimed they've been underpaid as a result of the problem. One employee spoke on the condition of anonymity, says she was only receiving 70% of her pay despite working full time. This happened because the emergency payroll system in place did not account for the past situation. This employee happened to be on leave beforehand, where she was getting a percentage of the paycheck. Then she returned to work prior to this hack, and she was still getting the 70%. So you can imagine she was not too thrilled about all that. So this incident is obviously a huge problem for KRONOS and any of the affected employees or companies. Not only is their software compromised, but many of their clients are left in the dark on when systems will be fully restored, and just how the extent of this hack went. Personal information stolen, banking stolen, and they're wondering like what could have prevented this? Are they with the right provider? So as an employer myself, this can all be pretty scary to think about. There are some ways we can prevent ransomware attacks. Obviously, number one, back everything up. If everything is offline in a secure repository, a worst case scenario, you're going to be able to get systems back up and running, regardless if you fall victim to such an attack. There are other ramifications, but at least you can get back to it. Number two is you should have a ransomware response plan, or any sort of IT security incident response. You define roles of everyone involved and you share that plan. Include lists of contacts, that'll include internal staff, partners, vendors. Look at things like suspicious emails or anything else that would raise the attention of your team. Take a look at your firewall configurations. For those of you still in offices, ransomware will often come through common remote screen sharing and file sharing ports. Unless those are absolutely necessary to open to the global internet, you might want to shut those down. And then make sure all the computers in your networking company are secure and durable. You're going to want to have specific configuration settings that will help minimize the attack surface should something come come through along those lines. And there are a number of benchmarks established by regulatory bodies out there for you to look at. You also want to make sure those systems are up to date. Keep those software patches, fixes, and updates going, as well as any antivirus and other security software that you're going to be using. Another one is to get your staff involved, and that would be through something like security awareness training, which I've talked about on a previous video. Team members can learn what to check for in an email or anything else suspicious before clicking those links, downloading an attachment, and creating a company-wide problem potentially. And then you might want to consider having an intrusion detection system. Again, this is for something in the office, built into some of the higher end firewalls. A good intrusion detection system will be updated, maintained regularly, usually automated from the vendor. Things like Cisco, Meraki, and Fortinet are ones to consider. So these are some of the things you want to consider when trying to mitigate ransomware, instead of leaving your team and staff worrying about what these ramifications are. Let them take a few precautions up front, like particularly backing up data and having these emergency plans in place are crucial steps for you and your company to take. But like always, if you have any questions or thinks there's something that I've missed, being aware of these threats are sometimes half the battle. With all this in mind, backing up your data and having an emergency plan can be the crucial steps that your organization needs to take in the event of a ransomware attack. And like always, if you have any questions or think there's something I missed, love to hear about it in the comments below. If you want some help in keeping your organization's systems managed and secure, book a quick chat with me via the link in the show notes below. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.